And roll call of commissioners. Commissioner Cruz.
Today, I am here to announce we've got our mayor.
Commissioner Cruz, you were here a second ago.
I'm here.
Hey, there you go.
Commissioner Williams.
Got it.
Commissioner
Here.
Williams is here. Commissioner Farrow.
Here.
Commissioner Diaz.
Here.
Commissioner Lyons.
Here.
And we have a quorum. First item is the acceptance of the minutes of the regular board meeting, which was held Tuesday, February 15th.
So moved.
There's a motion to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. The minutes are accepted. At this time, please observe a moment of silence for retired officer Gerald E. Warren, who passed away on Friday, February 18th. Thank you. Also at this time, please observe a moment of silence for retired officer Arthur L. Delally Jr., who passed away on Sunday, March 6th. May they both rest in peace. Thank you. Next item, it would be reports. And the first item under reports is Chief of Police. Good evening, Chief.
Good evening. Hope
Good evening,
everyone is
Chief.
well. Good evening. I'll be brief. I know you guys have a lot on the agenda tonight, but just wanted to share with you all that the simulator training that we had offered, Commissioner Diaz had attended. I know that Commissioner Cruz couldn't make it that day, but I think that their experience his experience about it will I think open the eyes.
It's amazing. I think everyone should take it.
Thank you. We've been trying to get the commissioners and some of the other personnel within the city just to get a feel for what officers go through and some of the enhanced training that we have instituted here at the department. We also have the academy class in place that's scheduled to graduate late July, early August. We have currently been going through the appeals with civil service to see if we can get another class in, even midway mark, while this academy class is in session, so that then we can start the recruitment process. Because as we know, the list is active for 2 years. But if we're able to go through all the processes where any of the candidates that were disqualified appeal, we hear their appeals. If they win their appeals, then we can put them in a class as we're trying to fill the vacancies that we have, or at least assist with the numbers that we're having. And just to reiterate, I know I've said this before, but I was in a meeting just last week with the major departments, such as ours, or compatible departments, which are Hartford, New Haven, and Waterbury. They're experiencing the same thing with shortage, the same thing with transition, and the same concerns with being able to recruit viable candidates for the profession of law enforcement. And, we're going to continue to do what has to be done. I will say that though we are short, we do not compromise on public safety. We make certain that the patrol cars are filled, and we will not compromise public safety. So, and we will continue with that mantra. That is our commitment. And we know that the community has to be safe, as well as our officers. So we will continue to focus on that. There may be some replanning, restructuring that has to happen as we start entering into the warmer months. But I will definitely present anything to you all if any other changes are going to be made. As far as personnel, we did have someone transition last week to another department, and we've had several retirements. But like I said, we are actively moving forward. Last week, I also promoted 5 detectives, and we did have it in the office, and it was family and employers or employees. They were present. There were a lot of people there, so we were trying to make sure that we were careful. I know that our COVID numbers have gone down and the restrictions have been raised. However, we want to make sure that we're conscious that it is still an issue. We did record it. We sent it out, and it was very successful. The families were very happy. The 5 officers were very proud, and thanked me for doing the promotion. So we will be doing additional, but we have to do it carefully as to make sure it's not to deplete patrol. Wingspan, Operation Wingspan, which is our partnering collaboration with area towns. I was advised that we will be getting additional funding, being the hub of that initiative. We will be getting additional funding as they know that the successes have been amazing with stolen cars and gun retrievals and things of that nature. It's going on the legislative floor on Friday. Lieutenant Andrews will be speaking on my behalf, on the department's behalf, as to the successes and why it is an excellent initiative to continue here in the department. There have been other areas that we know that we're going to be acquiring some grant fundings to continue sharpening our department, to continue advancing our department, and to continue doing the best for our community and our law enforcement officers who stay committed to the city of Bridgeport. And on that note, I think that's all I have for right now.
Any of the commissioners have any questions for the chief? Commissioner Cruz? You got to unmute yourself, please.
I apologize. Thank you, Chief, for that report. When you say the 5 detectives were promoted, were they promoted to sergeants or sergeants to lieutenants?
No, they were 5 patrol officers were promoted to detectives. So
Gotcha.
So there were several. For example, it was. Let me make sure I don't forget. Sergeant Cayazzo. He transferred out. He reverted his position and he became a detective. Officer Henry Eliud, Officer Katima Riddy, who was part of our training academy, but is still committed to assisting with our in-service and our recruit class as in place. Officer Peslak, and who am I forgetting? Manny and Jimmy. I have one more person.
It's okay. I understand.
So yes, there were 5 patrol officers that ascended to detectives.
Okay. I have two more questions.
Sure.
I won't take too much time. The simulated
Officer
training.
Sesh, sorry.
Yeah.
Officer
Thank
Sesh
you.
was the 5th one. You're welcome.
The simulated training. How frequently are you going to have that, or is there another opportunity?
We have continual in-service simulator training. We're also training our recruits on the simulator. We kind of called out some time to have a special training for you guys, but we can definitely make arrangements to do that again, probably on an evening that we have some of the officers on it, so that we don't have to keep the academy staff after hours.
Yeah, I think I just needed a 2-day advance notice or something. I think when I recognized that it was a little too soon for me to make arrangements to meet. And when you talk about acquiring funding, where do you see is the biggest need besides filling vacancies? How come you cannot recruit more people or train more recruits? Is it because that's all that qualify after the background checks?
Yes, ma'am. So remembering that back in the day, I think Deputy Chief Baraha, Lieutenant Cotto, and actually Lieutenant O'Donnell, they can tell you that when we were taking the test, when I took the test over 30 years ago, I was 12, but there were 3,000 people that applied for the position. We only had 600 and change apply for this past test. So what we're seeing is we're seeing the curve. We're seeing the down side of people, in all honesty, not wanting to be engaged in law enforcement at this time. But that is a national
Yes.
issue. Everybody's
I'm
dealing with
aware
that.
of that.
So, yeah, the funding, we've been granted the funding to put in recruits. The problem is the lack of interest. And for those that are taking the test, we've had some concerns about several that have taken the test. So, we know that if you're in law enforcement, you kind of have to be above the bar. And there are certain things that you cannot engage in. And if you do, then, then at this time, it's not the best time for them to come into the academy. And also there are standards that are instilled by post. For example, if you fail a psychological, you are disqualified. And then you have the backgrounds that are conducted by internal affairs. So yes, I think it's the totality of having viable candidates ready to start the academy.
Okay, great. Thank you.
You're welcome, ma'am.
That's it for me.
Any other questions for the chief? No? Okay. Chief, thank you.
You're welcome.
Is there anybody here representing the union this evening? Hearing none. Internal Affairs has submitted a report to us. We're just acknowledging that, and we'll go to item 3D, which is clerk's report on the status of pending matters. Lieutenant?
Good evening, Commissioners. We have a Barros hearing scheduled for March 22nd and March 24th. I'll be sending out notices on Friday. And we had 3 new with sustained charges, OIA cases, submitted to my office. That's OIA case 17I047, 17I061, 20I042. We have now a total of 4 pending cases that I will schedule for a Board of Inquiry with you shortly, Commissioners. And that's all I have. Besides, I did send you with the Internal Affairs report an addendum for a widow's pension for Mrs. Delally for tonight.
Okay.
Thank you, Lieutenant.
Lieutenant, could you keep in mind that I won't be available on Tuesdays after March 22nd?
Yes, I will, ma'am. March 22nd. Okay.
All right, we nothing under special reports. Under new business, the board will go in executive session to discuss personnel matters. I'll entertain a motion to do such.
So move.
Is there a second?
Second.
It's been seconded. Before we vote to go in executive session, though, I'd like to, if we can, Chief Baraha and Lieutenant Cotto, if we can keep you on standby to bring you in if and when needed, if that's okay, gentlemen. Lieutenant, we won't have any issue if I can contact you to allow one or the other or both into our meetings, into executive session, I mean.
Yes, yep. Just send me a text and I'll have our IT staff
Okay.
allow the chief and Lieutenant Cotto in.
Okay, motion's been made and seconded to go in executive session. Is, I'm sorry, all those in favor?
Aye.
Are there any opposed? Okay.
Commissioner Roach, you wanted me in the executive session, correct?
Not initially, no, Chief, I'm sorry.
Okay. So you want me to stand by as well?
If you could, thank you.
Okay.
I apologize. I think I left you out when I wasn't intentional.
No
No.
worries. I'm not sensitive.
You're looking at those small screens, Commissioner Roach. You gotta scroll over.
Hold on. Okay, we're on our way back in. I'd like to thank the chief and the deputy chief and the lieutenant for their patience and for hanging on. The board will not require your input just yet. But I think, is everybody back or are we still waiting? Commissioner Williams, right?
We're still waiting.
We're still waiting on Commissioner Williams. And Commissioner Lyons. Okay. There's Commissioner Lyons.
Hmm.
And
Can the host
and there's
pull her out?
Commissioner Williams. Okay. Okay, we're back in regular session. I will call upon Commissioner Williams to make a motion.
Make a motion to request a letter from the city's attorney's office to clarify if, and I'm gonna butcher his name, I apologize, Sergeant John Kaliski or said officer violated the Connecticut statute 7-281A.
Okay. And if in fact the violation is considered
Yes,
a
I'm sorry.
felony, is that correct?
Amend if in fact the violation is considered a felony.
Okay. There's an amended motion on the floor. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
All right. Is there any opposed? Okay. The motion's been approved. Getting back to our regular business, we have nothing under old business, correspondence, letters of appreciation. We have in a addendum to the widow's portion, the widow's pension. And I'm sorry, Lieutenant, if you can read that for me, I don't have it in front of me.
Yes, it's a request from Mrs. Barbara Delally to receive a widow's pension effective immediately under Plan A.
Paperwork is in order.
Yes, it is.
Okay. Entertain a motion to that effect.
So moved.
It's been moved by Commissioner Diaz. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Williams. All those in favor?
Aye.
Are there any opposed? Okay. That motion is carried. Items under 9A, request of the city traffic engineer to approve the following traffic requests. There is the two items under 9A. One is the installation of a handicap sign at 112 Lindley. The other is a handicap sign at 127, 129 Center Street. Entertain a motion to combine the items under 9A and approve the request of the city traffic engineer's office.
So moved.
It's been moved by Commissioner Farrow. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Commissioner Cruz. All those in favor?
Aye.
Are there any opposed? Okay. With regard to the items under 9B, I believe in all cases, the city traffic engineer is indicating that there is off-street parking available, and I will apologize to my fellow board members. I did not get the opportunity to research these requests, so I don't have much information on them, at least in my head, as to whether there is in fact a hardship for some of these applicants. Do we want to approve the city traffic engineer's recommendation, which is to deny these requests, or would you prefer combining them and tabling them to the next meeting?
I prefer combining and tabling. I thought we would do that before we ever voted to ensure that. I thought we always had something justifying why it's not.
Yeah, no, we have it in front. I haven't had a chance to look things up, is what I'm saying. If any of the commissioners have any information on any of these requests, feel free. Otherwise, is that a motion, Commissioner Cruz?
Yes, sir.
Okay, there's a motion by
Second.
Commissioner Cruz to combine the items under 9B in table. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Commissioner Diaz. All those in favor of tabling?
Aye.
Okay, any
Aye.
opposed? Okay, those items are tabled. Again, my apologies for those. Is there Lieutenant O'Donnell or any of the commissioners, any other business before the board?
Other than our meetings next week, commissioners, I have no other business to bring before the board.
All right. Okay, that being the case, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So
Moved.
move.
It's been moved by several. Is there a second?
Thank you.
Second.
Seconded by several. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Have a good night, everyone.
Good night.
Aye.
Thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you guys for.
Thank you for your
Thank you.
patience.